I'm back with another video, and this video is going to deal with rest defense and how that can lead to offensive minded attacking team. And so before we get into it and describe the why teams may use a 2-3 or a WM rest defense setup, why they use it and how to use it effectively, please like and subscribe to the video. You guys have been great about that, so keep it coming. I couldn't be happier. So let's get right into it. So first I'm going to outline the WM rest defense formation setup, and the one that's on the screen currently is with inverted fullbacks as the players alongside the holding midfielder. So here's just the WM setup. As we see, a W is made with the players in the rest defense. And there's a few things I want to show before we get into rotations on how teams arrive here. But the first is, I find this really effective, is because it has players in the half space. Both half spaces, I will highlight them. The fullbacks are in both the half spaces, and this allows them to use their cover shadows to block outlet passes into dangerous areas in behind. So one, they use their cover shadows, and this covers the gaps made by the two center backs, as there's only two players in the last line of defense. So the cover shadow helps add a little bit of a safety net, and then where cover shadows aren't blocking, we have our two defenders. So one, the cover shadows are super effective in blocking outlet passes to a forward player, or if maybe they don't play a 4-5-1, or if they play a 4-4-2 low block. So we have the options covered, and even though it's a 2v2 in the last line, the players making these runs will be blocked by the cover shadows, which can be really effective. And then the second thing that we need to keep in mind is that the center backs are blocking the lanes where the defense is not. So what this does for the team that's defending, if they win the ball and now they're in transition, the three center corridors, I will highlight them quickly. The three central corridors, which I just highlighted, we can even take out this line. So the three center corridors are occupied heavily by the team that just lost possession, so they're in their defensive transition. So what this does, it forces the attack to go outside into the wide areas. And this is more so what the defensive team wants now, the team in defensive transition who just lost the play, because in order to go into the wide areas, the team in possession now has to go away from goal first, and then they have to go towards goal. So that's two directions, and they're moving further away from goal first into a less dangerous position to then try and penetrate into a more dangerous position. So this gives the team in defensive transition more time to react, and it gives them a sense of security as there's no immediate threat in the wide areas. So that was just a little recap on how teams get there, and the W or 2-3 rest defense structure adds a lot of diagonal passing options and staggering, which allows for effective circulation, and the passing distances aren't too large, so the ball can move quickly and can constantly change direction as it moves from left to right or through the defensive block. So I'm just going to put the players back, and now I just want to show you a quick video on how some teams get there, because this setup is great, but if you don't understand the qualities of your players, it can pretty much be useless. So for example, when 2 or 3 seasons ago now, when Manchester City won the league, and they Yeah, so it's 3 seasons. They had Delph on one side and Walker or Danilo on the other. And there's a huge difference from when someone like Delph played or Zinchenko played versus Danilo. When Danilo played in these positions, he was much more sole purpose was for defensive transition and covering outlets so he could jump into these positions and press. Whereas someone like Zinchenko, when he plays in this position, he's much more there for circulation and more ball movement while using his cover shadow because he's not as aggressive when jumping to make tackles. Whereas Kyle Walker, we've seen him super effective now when the ball goes wide. There can be a positional interchange now, and he can make an underlapping run to try and access the assist zone, which is the place on the field where the assists come at the highest percentage. So being able to use your momentum and access this zone inside the box from a deep position gives you more of an odd that your run won't be tracked and that your momentum will give you a dynamic advantage over the defender to then access the zone and be able to find the cutback. So those are just 3 players. So Danilo, Zinchenko, and Walker, all who have found themselves in this position at one point or another, but all have very different qualities, and then this allows them to play this role and highlight different aspects of it more effectively. So I just want to show you one rotation, a little clip I made on how a team may arrive in these positions and how they can use rotations in an asymmetric way to then exploit these qualities. So here's the team. We have a 2-3-2-3, so or a 4-3-3 with 2 attacking midfielders, and we are going to see how they arrive in a W or 2-3 setup with inverted fullbacks and covering the 3 central corridors. So right away, we have 1 attacking midfielder or our 8 dropping on one side to come alongside the 6 and an inverted fullback. And then on the other side, we have our winger coming in to occupy between the lines. And now we have our fullback as the wide player in the wide area. And on this side, we have attacking midfielder and winger. So here's our W shape made up of our fullback, holding midfielder, and attacking midfielder. And then between the lines, we have a winger, attacking midfielder, winger, striker, fullback. And so when we see players like Jordan Henderson or Gini Wijnaldum, who are box-to-box players, really physical, very strong, and can operate in a defensive and attacking roles, we may see them occupy these positions more because they can jump for defensive transitions to press right away, and they are comfortable on the ball and dictating play from a deeper role. So, and then if you have players like Sadio Mane or Mo Salah who are extremely dangerous in behind and can make those little runs in behind and find space behind the defense, this can be really advantageous if you use your 8s or attacking midfielders in a deeper role and play more athletic box-to-box players, allowing your wingers to operate between the lines. And then, of course, you have Trent Alexander-Arnold or Andy Robertson as your fullbacks. They can then take up their wide positions and take advantage of their crossing. And someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold may do better in a deeper position, so he can approach forward more and play the ball in curled behind the defense from the half space, whereas Andy Robertson, we see him more times than not the wide player attacking down the wing. So this was just a quick video to introduce the concept, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I might make a few more of these and different rotations and concepts that can further be applied to break down a low block from here, but just wanted to introduce the concept and make a quick video for everybody. Thanks again,